I have new information in the arrest of Brian Hooker in the disappearance of his wife, Lynette. The couple is from Michigan, and Lynette disappeared in the Bahamas on Saturday night. So Brian was just arrested by Bahamian police at 7:30 on Wednesday night. Police are citing probable cause that they had for his arrest. His lawyer says he's being questioned, and Brian categorically denies the allegations against him. Now, it's come out in the course of this investigation that Brian and Lynette had somewhat of a volatile history. Lynette's daughter, Carly, has been making the rounds, talking about a history of domestic violence, situations in which Brian choked her mother and threatened to throw her out of a boat. I also want to let you know that a person who is a family member of Brian did reach out to me to say that this person fully supports Carly and does have a prior history with Brian themselves, though I did agree to not share the extent of that story or the relationship of that person to Brian. All I can tell you is that I talked to a family member of Brian who has a prior history with him, and this person says that they fully support Carly. So today I spoke on the phone with Darlene, who is Lynette's mother. I wanted to find out her reaction to the arrest of her son-in-law in her daughter's disappearance. And she said, I think the investigators are spot on. She says that she's been trying to get in touch with people who may have also witnessed past incidents involving Lynette and Brian, because she's now working with the Coast Guard to establish the history of their relationship. She said she's also combing through their social media videos, looking for places where Brian and Lynette may have spent extended periods of time. You know, they had a YouTube and Instagram channel called the Sailing Hookers because they were sailors and boaters. And she also is looking through text messages with Lynette to see if she can find anything to help the Coast Guard, who has now taken over the investigation. And just to recap, Brian claims that he and Lynette went out to dinner around 7:30 on Saturday night. They had moored their yacht, their sailboat called Soulmate, and they had taken their dinghy, which is an 8-foot hard-bottom boat, to the restaurant. They were leaving the restaurant and had gone out into the water when Brian says they hit some rough water, and Lynette, who was wearing the key to the dinghy, fell overboard. He said he was not able to reach her, and so he had to spend several hours paddling this dinghy to shore. He was able to report Lynette missing when he got to shore at around 4 o'clock on Sunday morning. Bahamian police and the Coast Guard searched air and the water for Lynette, but they've been unable to find her and have since said this is now a recovery mission. They just don't believe that there's any way that Lynette could be alive if indeed she fell into the water. So back to Darlene, I asked her about this prior history that Carly, Lynette's daughter, has described in the media. She said, he has abused my daughter physically and emotionally. And I asked her about a separation that I had heard about from Carly's boyfriend in my conversation with him yesterday, which is detailed in a previous video. She said that they did separate several times as recently as a year and a half ago. Now, Darlene lives in Florida. She's somewhat of a snowbird, so she's down there right now. She said yesterday she went to Miami and had a conversation with the Bahamian embassy, and she's also, as I said, been working with the U.S. Coast Guard. She says everyone has been helpful, but she feels helpless. I asked Darlene, were you ever worried about Lynette being out on this boat and boating around with Brian, considering these past incidents that you're describing? And she said, are you kidding me? She said, every day I worried, every time we parted ways. I also want to let you know that Nancy Grace interviewed me this morning on her show, Crime Stories with Nancy Grace, which airs on YouTube. She said it will be airing tonight at 6 o'clock. Not sure how much of what I know is going to be in there, but I have been working more specifically on the information about their history, how long they were married, and I've detailed all of that in previous videos. So far, Brian is not charged as of Thursday afternoon, but he is being questioned according to his attorney.